Pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de soleil.
Double standards. I am the queen of double standards. Now, I find that when I kind of came to a realization of this is that if I do something, my partner is so sweet and kind, and they overlook it and they never kind of say anything to me. But when they do something, eventually I get hurt or I get sad and I kind of bring it up 50 times or I get really, really upset. And then the most recent one told me, you know what, Monique? You left the front door open and it was open all night. Now, if I did this, you would freak out on me and give me literally like shit all week. You did it. I kindly asked you, honey, can you close the door next time you come home? Because like the wind, like I don't want homeless people coming into our house and, you know, being like, hey, the door looked open, it looked warm. We just decided to take residence. Yes, I know, I am the queen of double standards, and I kind of just learned that today. Are you? I don't know. We all do this, and I found in like even my friendships and other people I know, one of my girlfriends, it's like, oh my god, like my boyfriend has so many problems, he wants to talk about it. I feel like he needs therapy. He's not really doing like as much self-development as he should. Really just kind of bashing on everything that he's been doing. And, you know, you got to give to the guy. He's done really well for himself up to this point, but no one is perfect. And when we keep having double standards in life, it's almost like we don't look at our own flaws. Or when we look at our own flaws, they're really minor and we don't see how the other person is even overcoming their own issues with us and how they're being generous and kind and letting it go and overseeing it and being loving. And I think that this double standard thing can even come from vulnerability again. Once again, you know me, I have vulnerability issues, so I think that maybe the double standard thing kind of comes from that for me. I need to ensure that that human being is doing things for me to a capacity that I like, or really doing it maybe to something that fits my requirements, because if he does that, then that means he loves me. And I think maybe other girls do it based on like what the guy buys her for like Christmas, or did he buy her the bag that she wanted, or you know, double standards. You're not buying him anything. You're not taking him out for dinner. You're not buying him $400, $500 like freaking meals, but he's buying it for you. And at the same time, maybe he's a little more emotionally not as mature as you. But hey, like, are you buying him $500 dinners? Because when you are, then maybe you can complain about his emotional journey that he's learning and going through. And if you really have a big problem with it, then you should not be accepting everything that he is giving you up to that point. I feel that double standards exist so much in a society where you're in a relationship, once again not fulfilled, and you're accepting things that you're not actually fully happy with, and you're not giving things even to the other person that they're really fully happy with, but you're kind of shifting the blame, you're not being accountable, and you're making it as if though it's their fault. They're not good enough, they're not doing this, they haven't like done this to make you happy. And ultimately, when we have this double standard, it helps no one. It helps no one. So what do? Like, I had to learn the past week on how I can get over my double standard thing. And today, finally, I slept that, yeah, I do have double standards. This is what I did. I'm feeding you gold right now. What I did is I learned to let it go. Well, I didn't learn to let it go. I am letting it go. It's very much a conscious effort here. I am letting it go. Okay, he did not leave the dishes again there just to piss me off. No. He did it because he, I don't know, likes enjoying his meal, and putting the dish back will ruin the meal because it's such a fabulous time he's having. Sure, if that's what he needs, if that's what makes him happy right now because he's having such a shitty day, I will let it go. What he is doing is not trying to hurt me. Similarly, when I forget to put the sunglasses back in the car and he's driving, the sun is blasting him in his face, he will remind himself over and over again that I'm not doing it to piss him off. or when half of his items are not where they were, he again will remind himself, I'm not doing it to piss him off. When we do this, it's really important for us to remind each other and us that, they're not doing it to make us angry, they're not doing it to piss us off, it just is what it is. The other thing that I do is that I remind myself I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. They're not going to be perfect. And you know what? They're putting up with my shit. I need to kind of put up with their shit. We're all putting up with each other's shit. And at some point, we're all each other's bitches. So we're either getting hired or we're hiring or we're fired or we're firing. We are each other's bitches and we are literally all putting up with each other's shit. When you live with each other, when you are a couple, when you are together, you're not perfect, they're not perfect. I'm going to not put things back where they belong. I might leave the door open, and you know what? He might not clean the dash of his car. It might look disgusting. He's going to have bad habits, and he might like sugar a little too much. So, no one's perfect. The third thing that I do is that I really try to be understanding. And this is really hard, but before I get angry and I think of it and I take it really personally, I think, you know what? Maybe he had a bad day. Look at it through his point of view. He has slept maybe 2 hours. He's not thinking straight. He told me he's going to help me do this. He forgot. He didn't do it. He did a shitty job doing it. But you know what? He only slept an hour. Why did he sleep an hour? Because he has all this stuff to do. Why did he do that? Well, maybe it's because he was trying to help me during the weekend. So ultimately, it's really important to try to be understanding. Try to be understanding. It is very hard, but when you look at it through their point of view, you'll learn that they're not really trying to hurt you. It just is what it is. The other thing that I do is that I remind myself why I love them. I think in all relationships, we forget why we love each other. It is really difficult for us. At some point we're together and we really forget, okay, Bob was really hot when I met him. I drooled over him. I followed him. Oh my God, when I see him, I would get butterflies. Remember the days when you first started dating and you couldn't get enough of each other? You couldn't get enough lip action. You couldn't get enough other action. You couldn't get enough action. And now there's no action. Remind yourself why you fell in love with them, why you love them. Look at them the same way you did that first time you met them. When that girl was the barista at Starbucks and you would come and get a coffee every single day just so you can freaking talk to her. Remind yourself of those earlier moments. And when you do that, not only do you keep a spark alive, but it's so much easier to literally overlook the small things. There is a study done as well. I don't know where I'm going to pull it up, but the more you touch each other, the closer you are, the more intimate you are, the easier it will be for you to overlook these things. And it's really just how close you are together. So try that. Try being closer with them. Try being more emotionally available. Try being more romantic. Try just literally looking in each other's eyes and looking at each other like the day you did when you first fell in love with him or her. Because in those early days, we overlooked all the bad. In fact, we have these glasses on and you can see nothing bad about them and only the positive. It's oh, mom, oh, he smokes weed every day. I know, but I love him. Remind yourself of those things that, you really truly fell in love with in the beginning. And I'm not saying if they're really bad. I'm not saying if he's hitting you, overlook it, or, if it's abusive, overlook it, or if it's actually dysfunctional. What I'm saying is that if he or she is leaving her keys somewhere or her purse somewhere or constantly, if they're doing things that will bug you, and like all humans will, just when we lived with our parents, we did things that probably caused shit in their mind and they hated our guts, but they couldn't get rid of us. We all do it. So you really got to remind yourself, hey, I love this person loves me, and we're not doing it to hurt each other. Once again, not approving or promoting abuse or anything. That is a completely different situation. I'm just saying the small things. And the other thing, one of the very, very last things that I do is that I remind myself, is this the right time to bring it up? Okay. So if you're going to bring up everything that they do that's wrong every single time, this is what happens now. This is gold. I'm literally giving you gold right here. You will make that person feel like you never make them happy. And I've done this before by maybe picking a little too much, or every time something was wrong, I would point it out, I would mention it. And when you do that over and over and over and over again, even if you're trying to be good and gentle and kind about it, you make the person feel like they can't do anything right. I think maybe I learned this because this has happened to me growing up. You really just got to let it go and think, they put this effort out there to do this for you. This was the right time to poke at it or to say something about it. That person is not going to be like you as well. They're going to do things that are going to be different than you. And that's why you fell in love with them. You fell in love with that person for who they are and for the fact that they are so amazing to you, that they are different from you. You would not want to date you. No one would want to date you. I do not want to date me. It felt good on paper, but now that I think of it, it's like, two of us dating each other would not work out. I'm good. You need to think about the right time to bring it up. If you're going to bring it up and you're having a special moment, maybe it can wait. Maybe you can wait a date or two. Maybe the next day, it might not even be that big of an issue to you anymore. My girlfriend taught me this, that, in fact, a few women taught me this, that their men do things that will drive them crazy. And the one thing that they do is they remind themselves, okay, do I need to bring this up now? Is this really that important? Because if we're going to do it, literally there's going to be a long list, and men are never going to feel like they're ever good enough for us. And it could even be vice versa. So think about it. Is this the right time to bring it up? Remember why you fell in love with them. Remember that they're not doing it to hurt you. And remember that, you're not perfect either. These double standards that we have the capability of ruining, of destroying our relationships, because you forget that you have flaws and you're not perfect. And that human being does not owe you anything. We owe each other nothing in life. And what we do for each other, especially in our relationships, is out of kindness and love and caring. And we do it because we want to make the other person happy. So if he's getting your latte for you and it's not perfect, it's not up to your standards, well, hey, guess what, girl? He has been trying, and at least he went and he did it. If she cooks you dinner and it's not your favorite dinner, well, guess what? She put the time in, she did it, appreciate it. Let her know maybe later you don't want the same thing over and over again every day, but appreciate her efforts, because at the end of the day, we owe each other nothing. And that's all for today. Let me know what you think about this episode. As always, I love hearing your feedback. Bye for now.